in your competitive.
Our team.
Is kind of coming down to the fact that they are aware of
to a show. Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Continuing on with our coverage of NACE Collegiate Overwatch. Boise State looking to continue their strong start to the NACE season here in Week 4, looking to move to 4-0. I'm Michael Fisher. Joining me to call all of the action is Jacob Jem Palmer. And Jem, we've got a good matchup on our hands here tonight. As I mentioned, Boise State sitting at 3-0. San Diego State, a Mountain West rival, by the way, also the top side of the standings at 2-1. So what are your expectations coming in tonight for two very strong teams so far in the season?
Well, if we're going to base what tonight is going to be based off the past few matches Boise State has had, I would really say to watch out for round number 3. In both cases, even though Boise State last time in the past two universities they went up against, even though it was overall a sweep and a pretty dominant showing by Boise State, the other teams managed to stage a comeback on Watchpoint Gibraltar. So look out for that to be a possible, maybe if San Diego State University is looking at possible choices that they can use against Boise State, that might be something. So watch out for map 3 tonight. Don't expect a sweep is the main thing. I am expecting this to be a really nice, really competitive match.
That is interesting because Watchpoint Gibraltar has usually been one of Boise State's better map. It's sort of been their, ace in the sleeve kind of thing if they do end up losing on hybrid. So interesting to note, as you said, some teams have kind of come back and challenged them on Watchpoint Gibraltar. So it's something we will definitely want to keep an eye on here. Well, for the NACE Overwatch season, we want moment, take a look at the event card here, kind of go over all of the rules, get everything in order. It will be a best of 5, control, hybrid, escort, assault, and then back to control not played. BSU will pick the first map as they are the higher seed. I've been told that would probably will mean Lijiang Tower, but who knows, maybe Boise State could pull something out of their sleeve. And then the map loser will pick the next map. So far, Boise State's only had to pick control and then let their opponents do everything else. So we will have to see if maybe it changes, and maybe Jem is right, it isn't a sweep, and Boise State has to pick another map, because so far, as Jem mentioned, we have only seen control, hybrid, and escort so far. Boise State 3-0, San Diego State, a Mountain West rival, sitting at 2-1. Expect this to be a very, very strong game, and as you mentioned, Boise State has had some 3-0 sweeps. Jem, what are some players or a specific player that, if this is the first time player people are able to capture, or to see Boise State Overwatch, what's a certain player on the Boise State team they need to keep an eye out for if Boise State's going to move to 4-0?
Oh, that's such a tough question, because we have such great playmakers for the Broncos. We've got really great – I would say look out for the tanks. I mean, Boise State's tanks have always been amazing at just making their presence known, bowling over the other team. We have a great legacy from Solpan, who was kind of one of our first main tanks, and we've got so many other great players who are now in those tank roles. So watch out for them. But also, some of Boise State's support players can really be sleepers, so look out for them as well.
Yeah, I think all eyes for me are obviously going to be on Plato making that swap over from DPS to tank just for this semester. Has had some very fantastic games, so I definitely think that if there's maybe a weakness for San Diego State, that might be something you have to exploit. But hey, I don't want to give away everything, so why don't we have the master himself give his keys to the game? Let's take a look at Doc's keys to the game tonight that are brought to you by Drop In Gaming, and see exactly what Boise State needs to do to move to 4-0. They are never take a fair fight, and that means take a fight in unexpected places when the other team is unprepared. And tempo. Drop In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite game to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop In Gaming is the right game and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. And that is something Boise State absolutely loves to do, Jem, is take fights in unexpected places. And anytime that he is in the lineup, there's one man you have to keep your eyes out for and figure out where they are, because sometimes I even don't know where they are, and that is Goblin, because he is the epitome of take unexpected fights, because he's taking fights that I don't even know Boise State expects him to take it sometimes.
Yeah, especially with the recent buffs to, say, Genji and the amount of damage he put out, we have been seeing a lot of kind of that nano blade composition come back in full force, and definitely in the hands. Some of the DPSs for Boise State can be insane. But I also want to say, in terms of watching out for support, also watch out for Maxwell. He was a recent recruit that Boise State was really excited for bringing on, and so look out for him to do incredible things on some of these support players that can really make these plays, like the BAP and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, Boise State Maxwell is a great player to bring up. He has had some phenomenal games early on in the season from Boise State. I expect more of that tonight, though Boise State does have a very robust lineup. I'm not sure who we will see tonight. Kind of probably depends on some matchups, but let's take a look at today's lineups, which are brought to you by Count. Count Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, enables a personalized customer experience for the 9,000 leading brands. As we see here, this is maybe the expected lineup for Boise State. Plato and Kell in that tank role, Frost and Maxwell in that DPS role, and then a large bagel and Asu in that support role. I'm sure that is something that, Boise State has enough lineup where they can maybe flex some people in and out depending on how the games are going. But as you mentioned, Plato, the support lines, and Maxwell, definitely some players to watch out for.
Well, and a large bagel. How could I forget about a large bagel?
When I ask for a player to look out for, you can't name the whole team.
I know, but a large bagel is definitely one of our most vocal Overwatch players. You can always tell when he's screaming in the arena, because he's always just yelling at the top of his lungs. So I'm just surprised that he didn't come to my mind first and foremost, just because we hear him so often.
Yeah, I want to make sure you're like, hey, who do you watch out for? Well, if you watch out for the whole team, plus, I'm on to you, Jem. I'm on to you, Jem. Well, we're just getting ready here, waiting to go in a Mountain West showdown with implications. It is the NACE regular season, week 4 of the NACE Star League. Boise State at 3-0, San Diego State at 2-1, Broncos and Aztecs. I'm sure we'll see him again in the Mountain West next semester. Might even see him maybe in some Gridiron Rivals later on in the year, depending on how the football schedule works out. But tonight it is Overwatch. Overwatch. It is best of 5, and I cannot wait to start on Control. As I mentioned, Boise State has the higher seed almost always. I have been told that will be a Lijiang Tower pick. We'll see if Boise State will turn me into a liar or not, but I would expect Lijiang Tower. It's one of Boise State's favorite maps. I know Busan's kind of their ace in the sleeve should we get back to Control in map 5, but I fully expect Lijiang Tower, and as you mentioned, Boise State is 3-0 to every opponent this year. Actually, though, as I say that, of course, why would I would I be right? It's not Lijiang Tower.
Well, Ilios still, it shares kind of a similarity with Lijiang Tower in the fact that it allows,
It's actually Nepal.
Okay,
still,
it's actually.
I'm still wrong.
We're just going around the whole
We're
gambit
going to name
here.
every control map in the world.
But this is still, okay, you know what? The point that I was going to make still stands for Sanctum here on Nepal, and that's really just watch out for the environmental kills. You can see some incredible boops if we do see Lucio brought out. I know that is one of Large Bagel's mains, so definitely some interesting possibilities for the Broncos.
Interesting. I wonder what Boise State has. As I said, I've been told that Lijiang was their favorite map, but Nepal is definitely something that we saw a lot last semester. Haven't seen it too much this semester because, of course, it's been all 3-0s as we get ready to hop into it. Excited to see what lineup Boise State wants to mention. As you mentioned, the environmental kills, especially on this map, are something you have to keep an eye on. As we get a great view, see a lot of team fights up here. You can always drop down right onto point. Seen a ton of teams get locked in there with Diva Bomb, and then with that open space, those environmental kills, maybe from a Lucio, maybe even a Roadhog with that whole hog. Definitely on the tables. We're about to kick off map 1 here.
Well, and watch out for that initial choke point as you're entering the building here. A team that makes a great team fight can really just all of a sudden make so much space and basically lock out the other team if they want to.
We see here, looks like Boise State is going to push right on top of the side of San Diego State. The Mortality Field already taken down by Plato. VP also going to fall. Goo will go down as well, and Boise State will immediately send San Diego State right back to the spot.
Well, on their first play as well, they're just going to get the team wipe. That is insane for the Broncos.
I mean, if that's any indication of how the rest of the night might go, it is going to be a long night for San Diego State. Deej already switching over to the Hanzo. And Plato with that ult, you got to watch out for those shatters, Jeff. He has had some insane sneaky shatters so far this season, has that DPS mindset he likes to have.
Oh, yeah, and definitely with Frost also, more than happy to set up the car wash here for San Diego State. This is what I was saying. Once you get a good team fight in this initial engage, you can just squeeze them right into this doorway and make space for the whole match.
3-man shatter comes down from Plato. Boise State will pick up 2 on the way out. And then it looks like Deej and Rolf will also go down. VP not able to reset. And Boise State just absolutely runs them through. I love Plato's just aggressive mindset with those shatters. There is a window up for San Diego State. Asu has one as well. There is that Ant Matrix going to go down for Boise State. Not able to pick out Goo, and really not much more. They've on the point. San Diego State hasn't even got out of the spawn yet. Zago Man is the next one taken out. There's the environmental kill. As Deej will go off the map, and Maxwell gets a kill with the Deadeye.
I mean, is this really a point for the Aztecs? Are you really going to take this? Boise State is just pushing so far up to their spawn. Now the Broncos are going to make a little space and head back. But Boise State also hasn't been using too many of their ultimates. They still have a lot that they can use. They have the Gravitic Flux and the Photon Barrier should they choose to use it.
And Matrix going to come down. Immortality Field also forced out from Rolf. As Boise State with his line of sight. Move off the edge from a large bagel. Right on to Goo. There is the Gravitic Flux. How about Boise State throwing in the shatter? Can they get another team kill? Ooh, Goo respawning just in time. No, never mind.
There you go.
I thought Goo got off the respawn, and that's how you know the state of the game when we're cheering for respawns. Ooh, nice 2-man shatter does come out from Monkey. They're able to pick out Asu. Goo with a great swap over to the Wrecking Ball. Photon Barrier is going to be used there by Frost to try and reduce some of the damage here in overtime. Rally comes out from VP. It really does not matter. Monkey able to get at least 1 kill onto Plato, barely hanging on. Shield about to break. Frost doing a ton of damage, but VP picking up another kill. Large Bagel with the solo sound barrier. Sloppy play here for Boise State, and San Diego State kind of forced them into a weird spot. A Large Bagel, though, picking up the double kill. Monkey and Goo, the last 2 alive. The Aztecs currently just trying to stall out as long as possible. Those 2 deaths will probably be the end of it. Goo coming out of the mech. Don't know if they'll be able to get there in time. They will not. And Boise State starts with a clean 100-0.
I mean, that is you always want to start out with a 100-0 win, but I think that might have been a little bit of a preview of a potential undoing for the Broncos, especially ever since I saw Plato rush in with that shatter in that last engagement, the start of that last engagement, because of course these things can go on for minutes at a time. But the match had already basically been won at that time. Boise State had already eliminated 4, so I think that's something that the Broncos might have to watch out for. You know, it's easy when you're in the groove and you have all that momentum to just want to pile on more and more, but the Broncos need to be a little bit more disciplined and not try to make it so it's just always they're in a win-more mindset.
Yeah, it was a fantastic shatter by Monkey. Kind of caught Boise State off guard, and I think that's the one thing when you're cruising, like you said, Jim, when you're dominating, when you have them in spawn, you can sometimes forget that even though the enemy team is dying on repeat, they will eventually get their ultimates, and they can make good plays just like San Diego State did. I mean, they're 2-1 for a reason. As we kick this one off, Boise State already on the point, ready to go. Great ice wall going to go up there by Maxwell. Gets burned through pretty quickly with the spam from San Diego State as Deej is now on that Junkrat. So far, nobody taken out, but the health bars for San Diego State already low enough that they are going to force out an Immortality Field. Frost putting down a teleporter. I don't know if Boise State was looking for a flank or not. They're going to catch Zago Man on the wrong side of a May wall. They'll trade 1 for 1 before Maxwell picks up Monkey. Main tank down now for the Aztecs. Huge shatter there from Plato, already building it up. Did stun Rolf, but he was able to survive. As I say that, he goes down. And Boise State a little bit slower, a little bit more reckless this time, still able to pick up the team fight win.
Well, they're just going to try to get a little bit of a stagger here, and they are able to do that onto Goo there. One thing I wanted to say about this map, and there they go, and this is not going to be a good situation for San Diego State if they're going in already with a 5-person disadvantage, a 1-person disadvantage. They're fighting with 5. Excuse me, Fish.
Immortality Field already down, destroyed. Monkey follows shortly thereafter. Boise State has a pair of ultimates, but I think the Aztecs would be better off resetting here. As there is the Diva Bomb going to go out from Kel. Blizzards come down from Maxwell as well. Kel picks up 2. The only 2 members of San Diego State who had an altar down. Boise State will just force the Aztecs to reset.
But here's one of the problems that we were seeing here is that Boise State, at least for this next engagement, isn't going to really have too much. I mean, they are going to have the amplification matrix that they want to throw that down. But San Diego State University is starting to build up the situation where they can retake.
Ace almost gets shot in the back. Luckily able to survive. Throws down an Amp Matrix and an Immortality Field. Nice shatter onto Plato, but he actually falls off the ledge, allowing his team to heal him. Great job there, having that awareness by Plato. Photon Barrier does go down, just trying to help Boise State stabilize. VP, gotta be careful. As Zago Man is gonna throw down that Blizzard. Diva Bomb is gonna come out as well. Huge sound barrier comes out from a large bagel, but it's not enough to keep himself or Asu alive. Riptire takes down Frost. San Diego State with a great reversal. This time able to pick up 5 as Maxwell just gonna retreat and wait for the team.
Well, San Diego State starting to fall victim to kind of what I was criticizing the Broncos for, and that's a great flame strike there onto Maxwell, not making him too comfortable. But anyway, with VP Snips there on San Diego State University, using that beat, that would have been a great thing to have, because Boise State, once they're going to start bringing some of their ults online, that beat can really be kind of your get-out-of-jail-free card for negating some of those big ultimates, those big damage ultimates that Boise State would love to use.
Boise State needs one more fight, if not a single ult up. Immortality Field starts it. Nice stun onto Monkey. Maywall, though, cuts the team in half. Rolf's Immortality Field, take it down. Monkey, the first one to fall. Diva Bomb's going to come out and give Boise State some breathing room, and then some. 3-man shatter for Plato onto the rest of the squad. Boise State's going to cap. They get the team kill. And now San Diego State, I don't know. They'll have a staggered fight here at the very end, I think.
San Diego State is in the mindset where they just need to get on point, and they're not even going to do it. So, unfortunate there.
Great Maywall there. Goo gets cut off on the Wrecking Ball. And really a dominant performance outside of one team, maybe 1.5 team fights overall on Control.
I told you, watch out for the tanks, Fish.
You did. And it's Plato who gets the play of the game. Just a great charge in. Using that gravitic flux to make sure that Reinhardt can't block the charge. Swinging the hammer, throws a shatter, and Plato in his new role for Boise State has been absolutely dominant. Now But we'll see what San Diego State wants to do in return
Okay,
as we go to hybrid.
I may have criticized him in that moment for using the shatter, but if it's get to play of the game, then it kind of evens out a little bit.
Boise State was dominating so much, I don't think there was too much
I know, it's nitpicking.
alt economy that you had to worry about there. But, I mean, honestly, for San Diego State, you had one really good fight where I think they caught Boise State kind of off guard. They caught Asu looking the wrong way, really started that off. Also had a great shatter onto Plato with the shield down. So, I mean, if you're an Aztecs fan, Jen, what are you looking for, not only in map choice, but something to show here in game two? Because, I mean, I'm not saying you're rooting for San Diego State, but you did say we're not going to see a sweep. And from what I saw in Control, kind of like my chances of a Boise State 3-0.
Oh, well, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but San Diego State, if they've scrimmed Kings Row, which everyone scrims Kings Row, then that just might be the play, because Boise State is just notorious for loving these off-meta picks, especially on hybrid. So, I mean, Boise State, obviously, like any other team, is going to practice Kings Row, but I think at this point, it's almost a foregone conclusion. If the other team has the choice and we're going into hybrid, it's almost always Kings Row.
Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with map number 2. Is it going to be Kings Row? We will find out. Boise State and San Diego State, they've got hybrid coming up right after this.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Serena, I heard we're just dropping right into map number 2, and you were totally right, by the way, Jen. We are actually going to Kings Row. We'll see what San Diego State has in store. Maybe they can catch Boise State off guard by playing the most meta map in the game. I know it sounds weird, but as you said, Jen, Boise State prides themselves on their off-meta hybrid picks. So we'll see what San Diego State has in store. If anything, you said watch the tanks. Your one prediction right, but I don't know if I'm a believer in this might be anything but a sweep, because Boise State's looking dominant right now.
Well, if I'm going to make any other predictions for what we might see here is that, going with a May more brawly composition really plays into Kings Row. You've got so many of these choke points that you can just throw the wall up behind the other team and then just go ham on some of the other. And May has really been kind of almost in cryostasis, if you will, for the meta. Has just been coasting by all of these balance changes and still is such a strong pick because of that wall she can throw up and the way that she can deny space on the arena.
Kickoff, map number 2. Boise State leads the series 1-0 here over San Diego State. Got some swaps in there as well. Boise State, as you said, they're bringing out that May and that McCree. No May on the side of San Diego State, actually going with the Pharmacy. It's a very interesting comp. Boise State does have the McCree ready on that hit scan as Monkey fiddling on that Winston, going to jump right in, taken very low. Boise State able to get that first elimination. Keldo is hacked, not able to fly away, able to be full healed back up though. Rocket spam Deej coming in, but there's that hit scan from Maxwell. Headshot, revive from BP Snips, not even enough as Frost immediately headshots it. Deej just gonna have to go for the reset as well. Rolf can't even run away, and San Diego State tried the pharmacy, and their wings were clipped fast.
And that's why I think maybe going for a more May Brawly comp might be better for San Diego State University. Look how much Boise State loves to push up with their tanks. Throwing a May wall up behind Plato, that'd be a great way to shut him down.
Maxwell immediately pops the Deadeye and just snipes Deej out of the sky. If that isn't a sign that it's not working, I don't know what is, as San Diego State will refuse to switch comps. Try it once more. They do have the Mercy all online, give them that extra healing, but right now Deej is going to need a lot more than that. He's going to need support taking out Maxwell. Rocket spam coming in. Rolf now has that Nano. Plato's taken out too. That is huge. Valkyrie is going to be popped as well as the Nano onto Zago, man. Very interesting choice there for San Diego State. Has the EMP online as Boise State makes it a 1-for-1. Large Bagel is taken out. Frost gonna be forced to use that cryo freeze, heal right back up. Rez goes out onto Rolf, and San Diego State looks like they have done just enough.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here, Fish?
What is that?
Oh, I saw Max. He got hit with the sleep dart. I thought we were going to see some sort of next level flank play from Max.
They did still kill VP Snips.
I mean, so yeah, when you get hit with the sleep dart and still manage to get a pick, that says something.
San Diego State now has 4 ults online, and you already know, Jem, they want to combo this EMP and Rocket Barrage.
Yeah, EMP, it is a great initial start for Boise State. The thing is, and that's very crucial for Boise State, is they are not going to really have the beat. You know, the main thing is you might want to keep Large Bagel off to the side, try not to get him caught up in one of those initial CC ultimates, but Boise State is still a bit ways from kind of getting his ultimate online. That this is really the opportunity here for San Diego State, but it's not going to be too much more time left for them.
Plato does get hacked, has the shatter available. No, you're totally right. San Diego State has to go now. Huge shatter going to land onto Monkey. Charge is stopped. Primal Instinct will be popped there. We're also going to get an Ant Matrix down from Asu. And all of this allows Boise State to get that sound barrier online. Nano's going to go out onto Monkey, whose Primal Instinct just now falls. And we see Plato is the first one taken out. Deej still sitting onto that Rocket Barrage. Not even going to need it as Goo picks up another one. And despite the ult advantage, San Diego State not have to use a single one. Monkey barely holding on. Bob's going to get called in there by Maxwell now on that ass. As Large Bagel picks up one. Maxwell's going to pick up Deej. Do hear the res go out onto Goo. No punish from Boise State. And immediately off of that, the grab is going to be used by Goo. Boise State right into an EMP, lands on a Large Bagel, which means there is no sound barrier available, but nobody dies. Boise State almost lives entirely through that EMP without a loss until Large Bagel gets taken out.
But for San Diego State University, I mean, it is somewhat working out for them. Even though it hasn't been kind of the cleanest engagement, they are at least getting to the first checkpoint, which again, Boise State is kind of all you can ask for.
Blizzard does go down from Frost, as well as that sound barrier. Valkyrie used by VP Snips to stay in the air and out of that freeze. Nano's now going to go on to Goo. Still waiting on Deej's Rocket Barrage, but so far San Diego State has not needed it. There it is. But all it does is take out the Immortality Field before Maxwell gets a great headshot onto Deej. But Boise State just simply cannot compete with the firepower of San Diego State. Revive does go out. Zaguman taken out, but Boise State just continuously retreating. Does look like San Diego State finally going to be able to get that second checkpoint. Bob is called in, but no fight's going to take place.
Yeah, it's a little bit of unfortunate timing on Bob there. After it was already kind of done for Boise State, it really didn't even work out in a thing where they could stall the payload there. So that's kind of an unfortunate ultimate usage for. Now, this is what I was looking for. I love seeing Reaper and some Death Blossoms into the backline. So, Frost, please make my wish come true.
Hard part is going to be finding a way to get Death Blossom off with, you know, Deej just spamming those rockets on the far. A hack does go out onto Plato. He's also hit by the ENT. Able to survive. Does have that shatter online as Boise State is looking for a big shatter onto the back line. Another great hack from Zago, man. He has been just so annoying to Boise State as he gets a 2-man EMP, but a 2-man Diva Bomb answers that for Boise State. Graviton going to come out from Goo there, as well as the Primal Rage from Monkey. Boise State able to survive through all of that. Asu doing a ton of healing as Maxwell picks up a double kill. Make that a triple kill for the Ash, and Boise State's able to send them retreating. We see the weakness of Zago Man on that with that EMP. You can get a great EMP, but you don't have any follow-up damage.
Now, this is an interesting swap that I'm seeing here. Hanzo being brought out. So we'll see how good their sniping game is.
Farah does lose a ton of value in this third point as Bob plus the Ant Matrix immediately eliminates Monkey. A nice 4-man stun from Boise State as well off a huge shatter for Plato. Allows them to just send San Diego State back to the spawn, and they have immediately shut them down. Uh-oh. Plato doesn't have the shatter, but he's still getting sneaky here. Nobody knows he's there, and he's just going to bail out on it.
I mean, I like the initiative. I definitely like that for Plato. The good news, and you can see that right there with the large bagel, he got the sound barrier just in time to stop this nano boost assault that San Diego State was using.
Nano boost out of the Reinhardt. Very interesting play there. Does not get much value, as you mentioned.
Yeah, the nanos have been interesting from the Aztecs. I don't know if it's some sort of next level strategy or if Grandma needs to sit in her rocking chair and just think about where she's hitting that nano dart for a few seconds.
I mean, they just don't have great nano targets right now, and maybe Rolf was sitting on that until he used the ult, because he immediately swaps over to the Baptiste. Here's the Death Blossom you've been waiting for, Gem. Frost, immediately walks into Deej. Boise State gets one back. They take out both tanks to the side of San Diego State. Deej very low. Immortality Field will come out. Final 60 seconds here for San Diego State on attack. As Zago Man gets sent back to spawn with an EMP, and San Diego State's probably going to have one more fight.
Okay, but here's Frost's other opportunity here. I do have to. Oh, is he going to?
He's
really?
got the shatter. He's got the shatter this time.
Okay. Wait, just everyone just quiet down.
He got goo and then immediately got counter stunned. And they are able to take out one. They get a Diva Bomb, takes out the Immortality Field. Monkey will go down as well. Bob picks up Deej. It's all up to Zago Man, who looks for a reset. San Diego State might get one last, maybe final attempt here, but Frost has that Death Blossom this time, and he's waiting.
Oh, he's waiting. This is so good. Okay, let's see the wind-up here.
10 seconds left for San Diego State to keep this game
Here
going.
we go.
Here comes Frost. He's going to jump in. Immediately uses it, but a great EMP from Zago Man. Stops him in his tracks, but Boise State picks up the team kill.
I mean,
Jem's dream is denied,
Yeah.
but nothing else.
The Broncos win, but my dream is lost forever. I do have to wonder there, though.
Yes.
I really do have to wonder, with as pressed for time as San Diego State University was, I don't really know if it was good for Rolf to stick on that Ana with the nano boost, because like you said, Fish, they didn't really have any good nano targets to really put out a huge amount of damage. And as Doc says, one of the key things that Doc says is like, it's not worth it to hold on to any sort of ultimate if it means fighting a fight with the wrong team composition. So even though he might have thought, oh, I want to get some sort of advantage out of this ult because I've charged it out, when you have less than 2 minutes and you've just got to make as much distance as you can, I don't know if it was the best really move to keep on that Ana.
No, I completely agree with you, and I think the other thing is, I mean, you look at the Farah, for example. Farah has a lot of great value on point 1 and point 2. When you get to point 3, there's not a lot of value for her because you are sort of within a skybox. You're, within that building. So I think San Diego State kind of fell victim to the let's attempt to keep a comp going until it loses 2-3 times, as opposed to, all right, our pharmacy got us 2.2, let's immediately swap off. We'll see what Boise State can do in response.
I mean, you can really see Boise State's mindset of how unconcerned they were with that far once they got to point 3. When you switch over to a Reaper, because a Reaper isn't going to be taking a Farah out of the air anytime soon. So you can tell they weren't really concerned with that once they got to the 3rd point.
Speaking of Farahs, Boise State will bring out their own pharmacy with Maxwell and a large bagel. See what damage they can do to the side of San Diego State, who does have the Torbjorn, but that turret is immediately taken out, and now you're already sort of in a very rough spot trying to take out this far. You're kind of relying on the May right clicks there up in the air. As Boise State immediately forces the Aztecs off the spawn. So far, no eliminations. Maywall, Plato's caught on the wrong side. There's a small gap for him to sneak in between. Mortality Field forced out there from San Diego State. We'll see Boise State can punish, and as soon as it goes down, Zago Man is immediately eliminated. Now, Asu's Immortality Field is taken out as well. The Rockets already coming through and force another Torbjorn turret taken out, keeping those skies nice and clear for Maxwell. very close to that ult already. Couple more direct impacts should do it. There it is. We'll see if he immediately uses it, and he will. He'll pick up Monkey, Deej, and a turret, make it another kill as well, and Boise State has already unlocked the payload.
Now this is going to be a key, crucial thing to see how well the Aztecs here can adjust. Oh no, look at this poor May here!
Forced to cryo freeze, it gets canceled, and Zagomon is immediately taken out. Boise State full aggro. We saw the Aztecs do this as well, getting right up in this .2 spawn.
Yeah, this does look like it is a really winning combination for the Bronco. There we go. That's what I was waiting to see from Zagoman there. Swapping off to the McCree, getting a bit more DPS to counter this Pharah that needs to be taken out.
Get the McCree, we get the Frost pushing the payload POV there for a little bit, not participating in anything. We get a shatter come out from Monkey, not able to land onto anyone. Oh, the Ant Matrix of San Diego State a little bit too far back. Boise State able to just easily line of sight that one. From Plato Shatter also blocked in return. The payload still hasn't even rounded the corner. Gravitic Flux is going to be used there by Kel to go up. The VP Snips able to get a great 6-man sound barrier. Valkyrie popped by a large bagel. There is the Deadeye from Frost, not able to find anything, and Monkey's the first one taken out off of Flamestrike. Boise State now 8% away from another rocket barrage, but it's not gonna matter. Plato picks up Goo. Zagoman will at least get a large bagel, but that's the only elimination San Diego State's gonna get.
Now, here comes the point. You know, once we get to that third point, the Pharah becomes less viable, but we'll see if Boise State decides to hang in there with it since they do have this barrage. At this point, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a point where Boise State is forced that they need to swap off this comp, so I can see Maxwell holding on to this.
I expect Maxwell to swap the moment he is eliminated. Maybe not. No, I thought he was going back to swap, but he's actually just going back to push the payload. Yeah, I expect if Maxwell gets eliminated, we will see him move off that far, as we do see Ant Matrix gonna go down there. There is the rocket barrage and a nice 3-man shatter from Plato. A huge pin on to Deej. Goo with the last ditch on the self-destruct. Does take out Frost. Plato falls as well. But Boise State still just shoving San Diego State back, and they don't have to go all the way. They only need to get a few more meters. It's all up to Zagoman. Can he make it done on the McCree? Gravitic Flux is going to come out. Monkey will slam down to the ground, get taken out there, and Boise State will pick up the victory here on Kings Row and go to match point.
Well, that just shows, you know, how important it is to be able to swap a trade. Plato, are you going to take all the plays out of the game?
I'm curious which one this is.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I
I mean, you know, he wanted the play of the game to be one of those, you know, shatter from behind plays that he was trying to do. He tried twice to do one of those plays, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, he's had some fantastic shatters so far. Plato picking up 2 players of the game. Well, now we're on to Escort. You've mentioned Watch Point Gibraltar. Do you think that's what San Diego State has to go with here? Because, I mean, Kings Row, they put in a nice effort attacking at least, but defending really nothing to do. So your quick thought before we go to break, Jim, on what San Diego State needs to do heading into map 3.
It has been the one to turn it around, but I think what San Diego State needs to do mostly is they need to recognize the opportune times when they need to swap to a different comp, because I think that's just really been the point where they've been draining off too much time that they have, is just trying to stick on this comp because, hey, I have this ultimate, I have to use it, but they need to recognize what Boise State's running and be able to counter that right off the bat.
Well, I don't want to say Jem's rooting for San Diego State, but he was very adamant we wouldn't see a sweep. So, can Boise State
thanks for rubbing it in.
Hey, anytime Boise State gets a sweep and you're wrong, is that really a bad thing, though?
Ooh,
I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, we'll come back. We'll see if Jem and I can mend our friendship. We'll take a quick break. Back with Map 3 and Boise State, San Diego State after this.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full time.
While I work full time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, watching our coverage of NACE Collegiate Overwatch. Boise State and San Diego State heading into Game 3 here on Escort, with the Broncos sitting comfortably in a 2-0 series lead. I'm your host, Michael Fish Fisher. Joining me to call all the action is Jacob Jem Mountain Palmer. And Jem, we're heading to Escort here. We're heading to Dorado. San Diego State has had a couple of nice moments. What do you want to see from them to really give Boise State a run for their money and maybe get us here to overtime on Escort?
Just get past checkpoint 1 and let's see where we go from
Hey,
there.
They made it to checkpoint 2 on Kings Row.
They did, but, you know, let's just take it one at a time. The last thing that I want to see right now, even though, you know, obviously we have blue and orange behind us and everywhere, I want to see a little bit of a competitive game here. So I at least don't want it to be a complete shutout from the Broncos in terms of, like, they don't even allow them to get to checkpoint 1. But Dorado's been one of those maps that we kind of see that every now and then.
Well, let's start over to Doc's Keys. Maybe, hey, you know what, Boise State, I'm sure they're listening. Hey, maybe San Diego State can steal a page out and make this an interesting map, and that is never take a fair fight. Take fights at unexpected places when the other team is unprepared, and tempo. See if either of those teams, Boise State, you know, preferred, but as Jem said, hoping the Aztecs can put up a fight, can get that done. It's all brought to you by Drop In Gaming. Drop In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. Boise State, San Diego State here, week 4 of the NACE Star League regular season. Boise State sitting at 3-0, San Diego State sitting at 2-1. We're off to Dorado with Boise State looking to move to 4-0.
Now, Boise State usually in this situation, they usually like to kind of do some swaps in here and make sure all of their members of the team at least get some practice in these matches. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some roster changes here.
Yeah, we don't have to wait for the game to kick off. Nice 360 there by our camera operator. We see at least one member, I would presume to be Boise State.
I would at least presume, but at this time we have been misled by Boise State actually being the red team.
That is true. Well, we will kick this off. We will see what the roster looks like. We will see what the comps look like. Do see a Tracer up there on the high ground as well for the blue team. Arissa gonna get absolutely jumped up on by that Winston. Ton of damage going out. It's Boise State still in the blue, and Maxwell picks up the first elimination. No swaps in the roster, no change in the overall result as Maxwell's got 2 right on the back line. Speaking of changes though, we do have Ronan now in for San Diego State on the support, and Rolf has swapped to the DPS role. So a bit of a change for the Aztecs here. We'll see if that can help them out.
Well, okay. Oh no. Well, okay, you can see they might want to just try to take that Pharah out of the air with a quick snipe, but that's not really going to work if the Pharah is... This is just... Come on, Boise State.
Hey, that's a great read by Goo. Actually picks
Nice.
Asu out. There's a great read by San Diego State. Rolf with the snipe. Boise State got a bit too creative, so now down the pharmacy, they're going to be forced to retreat. Halo still hasn't moved too far. Plato very close to the primal, as we're going to see another jump in there by Monkey. Rolf taken very low as Goo gets a nice headshot onto Frost. And Boise State without that pharmacy firepower in the air, taking a ton of damage. Plato holding on to the ult. Rocket Barrage is now available. Oh, is there going to be a ton of damage put on the Deej on that soldier, immediately taken out by the hero that he was set to counter. And there is that Rocket Barrage. Decent use of the defense matrix there, but Rolf's still going to get taken out. VP Snipe will fall as well. And after a small hiccup, Boise State will send SDSU back to the spawn.
This really, oh my goodness, look at Maxwell right there taking out Ronan. That's going to drain even more time away from the Aztecs. But this is really what really kind of stinks when you're going up against the Broncos, is they're one of these teams that even if you get 1 or 2 picks, the rest of their members, the rest of the Broncos have such staying power that they can just stick around and stall it out until everyone else has respawned.
I do want to throw the attention to Asu, fully in character, by the way, with the Mercy Wings on stage.
Wow.
Big fan there. Hey, full cosplay, go for it. As Frost picks up 1, Plato gets another 1. Boise State already up 2. How about we make it 3? The rest of the Aztecs fall back into spawn. And hey, you know what? Oh no. Oh no. I'm a big fan of Asu though, owning the role. Sometimes you're a Mercy main on and off the field.
You know, one of the players for the Broncos, I just have to say, in terms of transparency, in the break, they were so confident they were having ice cream on stage. And at this point, if I'm San Diego State University, that's maybe what I want to do. I just want to leave and maybe just have some ice cream, because Monkey, okay, that's a great start, but like I said, you need to get a little bit more than just a pick here or there if you want to take out the Broncos, and this is a great move there by the Aztecs.
Yeah, they get a great sleep onto Max, so they get the revive onto Deej. Valkyrie pop by Ronan there. Oh, VP snipes the battle on him. Gonna take out Maxwell. They might be able to. Plato gives the salute to his fellow Winston there. Gonna come down to probably 1 more fight before San Diego State can fully capture this point. Primal Rage for Plato will be up. Only thing that the Aztecs are gonna have is a Diva Bomb, and that might not matter. Great double kill onto Frost and a large bagel if you're an Aztecs fan. 30 seconds left here. They need this fight. Grab is up for Kel. Is he gonna use it in combination with the Rocket Barrage? As Plato picks up 1 onto VP Snipe, Perez goes out onto a large bagel. It's a 5v6. Diva Bomb for Goo will go out. Boise State able to survive. Kel, there is the grab. A Diva remake for Goo kills a large bagel. Maxwell gets taken out before they can use the Rocket Barrage. And San Diego State, as time expires, has come alive enough to force us to some time extension here. Let's put 2.5 more on the clock and keep going.
Oh, look out for Frost here, though. Okay, yeah, Frost didn't want to stagger Boise State, so that was a good choice. That's not always the easiest thing to do, is to know when it's actually time to die, because your just base instincts are, no, I want to stay alive. But sometimes it's better to not stagger your team out like that.
Maxwell looking for another Rocket Barrage. Has got a ton of value out of it so far. Him and Deej having a bit of a battle of the air. Both of them have Rocket Barrages online. See, the Nano is going to go out onto Monkey before VP Snipes gets taken out. Rocket Barrage takes out the enemy Pharah. That's not something you see every day. Rolf gets taking it out with a punch from Kel. Monkey unfortunately sat on that ult a bit too long.
The good news for San Diego, well, actually, they got to watch out here right now because Maxwell is more than happy to get some sort of pick here or there, so they got to make sure they're disciplined here and push in as a team and don't allow some sort of early pick to disrupt their push here because they do not have the time. They can't afford to waste time here.
A lot of pressure on Kel here. Has to keep a track of Deej in the air. You land a nano rocket barrage. That could be some serious damage, and the defense matrix is really the only block that Boise State has. Nano from a large bag, going to go on to Plato. A great sleep there from VP Snipes, going to shut down the Raging Monkeys. Maxwell gets a pick onto his Pharah counterpart there. Valkyrie used from AESU. Primal Rage from Monkey used just to stay alive. As Frost doing a ton of damage. Valkyrie from Ronan to just get up in the air and get out of harm's way. Plato with that Primal Rage to heal back up to full life. Deej get a nice pick there, though. Let's see if maybe Boise State will look for a revive onto Frost. Plato gets antied, taken out as well, and San Diego State showing fight, staying alive here, and continuing to push this payload ever so slowly as Maxwell gets another pick onto Rolf. There is a great rocket barrage from Maxwell onto VP Snipes, who goes down with that nano just 5% away.
But I would really like to see, at this point I would have wanted San Diego State to at least have rounded the corner here. That's a great start onto ASU, but they really need to, I need to see some sort of team wipe here from the Aztecs if they want a chance here.
Oh, Kel lives on 2 HP. Huge remake there to keep Boise State in an even fight. Post bomb plus Maxwell pick up both DPS for the side of San Diego State at the worst possible time. 7 seconds left. The Aztecs are going to get a scattered fight at best. They're going to try a last-second nano onto Monkey. Can he make a play? Rolf gets revived, but both supports down, making it 3-on-6 for Boise State. Maxwell popping off a 3-kill here. They're going to wrap it up with a team kill, and San Diego State's journey will end 44.93 meters in.
Well, if you wanted to find a way to technically fulfill my wishes but at the same time still disappoint me, then they found a way. I mean, they got past the first check. Okay, look, Fish, you are hardly one to criticize right now.
For the throat. My man,
look,
whoa.
We're both a bit salty right now because we just want to see a little bit more of a close game here.
I mean, you know, it's really the caster's dilemma. You want to have a close game because that's the more hyped matchup. But at the same time, I mean, when Boise State's winning and you're on Boise State's side in the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, you can't complain too much.
I mean, at this point, any of the salt that the players could have been feeling right now, we've just completely stolen, and it's just in mounds right here up on stage with us.
And they look cool, calm, and collected up on the stage. See if there is anything that San Diego State could do. I would lean towards probably not. But maybe they have a crazy comp up their sleeve. I mean, they picked Dorado. They've had some success on the maps they picked. So we get ready to kick off what could be the final map of the night here for Boise State and San Diego State.
3, 2, 1.
Well, let's see what they bring out. Boise State had some luck with the Far Mercy, so we'll have to see if they bring out. They're just going to use the Far Mercy again, but it looks like San Diego State, a double shield composition, actually.
And for a moment there, Kel on the Roadhog, but nothing too crazy. As Plato is just soaking damage, really just feeding ult charge to his teammate at this point. As you see the high ground set up here for San Diego State. Unfortunately, we saw that one, Plato. The failed jump now has to wait for the cooldown. Now, again, hits off the edge, this time able to at least get up and do some damage. Plato taking quite a bit, though. From this San Diego State side, Maxwell gets the first one, 0 for 3 for Plato.
I don't really know if I like this whole strategy from San Diego State. They basically conceded the full first half of the map to Boise State to just push up through uncontested, and San Diego State just doesn't have that much real estate to play with.
Nano onto Plato, nearly builds up the Primal Rage in one fight. Rolf the only one staying alive, and now Boise State has nearly 5.5 minutes. I don't know how you could get really any more time than that. And all they've got to do is go 45 meters. Rolf already taking a ton of damage. Plato will jump away, get some healing. Frost getting picked off, but I mean, here's the problem. You see where the parking spot is, Jem. San Diego State's not close.
No. This just doesn't say, this isn't right. This is just
Boise State's just going to push on and win.
This is just offensive in all concerns.
I mean, this is like almost like a reverse C9. They just forgot about the point. Oh, finally someone does make it over there to contest. For a brief moment at least, Rolf and Monkey stopped them.
It's not a C9, that's like a C9 squared, so a C81.
Like a reverse C9. Instead of moving off the point, you just never move on to it.
I just, you know, maybe they just wanted to concede at that point, which would really be sad if it turned out that way. But, well, I'll finish my thought. But right now, Boise State 3-0. Congrats.
Boise State 3-0, moving to 4-0 on the season, taking care of San Diego State in short order. Really a fantastic job by the Broncos here against, you know, maybe their toughest opponent they've seen so far in NACE, a conference opponent, and someone who I'm sure they will see in the coming semester, not only in the Mountain West, but potentially other tournaments, but a 3-0 win nonetheless, Jem, and we'll allow you to continue on with your thought there.
Well, just look at the difference in play style in that last game. When Boise State was defending, they had their far mercy pushed all the way up into spawn.
Yep.
When the Aztecs mercy was retreating, Maxwell was just sniping, staggering them out. Boise State managed to burn off so much time from the Aztecs, and then when it was the Aztecs' turn to defend, what did they do? They pulled out this double shield, waited up on the upper level. They basically just set up their lawn chairs and watched the parade go by while politely waving. So it's just disappointing. I just wish we could have seen a little bit more. So I was making so many great predictions tonight, but this was the main one that I got wrong. So, but still, congratulations to the Broncos. Well-earned victory.
No, 100% a well-earned victory for Boise State. And as you said, San Diego State, just especially on that third map, just seemed like content to just kind of watch Boise State go by. I mean, they wanted to put as much damage into. I mean, Plato was literally just letting them farm alt charges, really just standing there, but none of that mattered. And you know, we didn't get to see a blizzard play of the game for that last map, but we did see two of them go to Plato. He was the player you really kind of shouted out. You said, watch out for the Boise State tank line. So, Jem, who is your ICCU player of the game for this Boise State win?
I could see Playo, but Maxwell at the same time as a DPS managed to make some amazing plays, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him. Of course, it's always nice if we see something thrown to support from production as well, just to recognize the crucial role that they play. So I would say Plato or Maxwell would probably be my two choices.
Yeah, I think Plato is probably the choice here. Just played absolutely phenomenally. But, I mean, I think he's gotten quite a few of them, so it would not shock me if they want to switch it up. But here it is. And, it's going to be Plato. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, now on the tank, I think he's picked up more ICCU player of the games on the tank role than he has on the DPS role, which is honestly incredible. Yeah. And speaks to potentially how.
You wouldn't know that playing solo queue. It's like they can't convince anyone to play tank right now.
Exactly. And I mean, again, it's just, you know, it speaks to, I think, the aggressive style that he has on that tank, maybe catching some players off guard, but a phenomenal job by Plato. Congratulations on being named the ICCU player of the game. Idaho Central Credit Union is a great player, makes the team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. And Plato is your ICCU player of the game for Boise State's 3-0 win over San Diego State as we take a look at his phenomenal plays and these phenomenal replays from Boise State. You know, not a dominant win, especially on Kings Row. We saw some noise made by San Diego State, but what are your big takeaways and your final thoughts here, Jem?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, Blizzard, if you want to make more people play tank in solo queue and try to get those wait times up, then forget offering a free loot box. Just put some clips up of Plato getting these 5-6-man shatters, and you'll have people lining up to play Reinhardt. I'm sure that's going to really move the needle. But anyway, it was a great match by the Broncos. I do have to say the main thing is that it really shows why the mechanic of being able to swap heroes in Overwatch is so crucial. And when you have a team like, unfortunately, if you have a team that kind of performed like the Aztecs did, unfortunately, is just getting too attached to an ultimate you're farmed up, or not recognizing that, hey, we need some DPS because this Far Mercy is just getting way too much mileage, that really can be a crucial skill gap that opens up in the game. And I think the Broncos showed that they are proficient in that.
Well, huge congratulations to Boise State. They remain undefeated, and NACE has been quite the start to the season for the Broncos Overwatch team. But we will wrap up tonight with our Idaho Army National Guard Top 5, presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your gift choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. And here are your top 5 plays for Boise State's win over San Diego State. Right on top of the side of San Diego State. The mortality field already taken down by Plato. VP also going to fall. Goo will go down as well, and Boise State will immediately send San Diego State right back to the spot.
Well, on their first play as well, they're just going to get the team wipe. That is
on to Monkey. Maywald, though, cuts the team in half. Rolfson, mortality field, take it down. Monkey, the first one to fall. Diva Bob's going to come out and give Boise State some breathing room, and then some. 3-man shatter for Plato onto the rest of the squad. Boise State's going to cap. They get the team kill. And now San Diego State, I don't know. They'll have a staggered fight here at the very end, I think. Last second, Nano on to Monkey. Can he make a play? Rolf gets revived, but both supports down, making it 3-on-6 for Boise State. Maxwell popping off a 3-kill here. They're going to wrap it up with a team kill, and San Diego State's journey will end 44.93 meters in. On that soldier, immediately taken out by the hero that he was set to counter. And there is that rocket barrage. Decent use of the defense matrix there, but Rolf's still going to get taken out. VP Snap will fall as well. And after a small hiccup, Boise State will send SDSU back to the spawn.
This really, oh my goodness, look at Maxwell right there taking out Roni here. Hanzo being brought out. So we'll see how good their sniping game is.
Farah does lose a ton of value in this third point as Bob plus the Ant Matrix immediately eliminates Monkey. A nice four-man stun from Boise State as well off a huge shatter for Plato. Allows them. We are not done yet here in the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We have our post-game press conference with Doc Haskell still up on the stage there. And Doc, a phenomenal win for the Boise State team, a 3-0 over, a NACE opponent and a conference opponent. So how are you feeling?
Well, we're feeling really good. It was a really good, good string of matches. We did what we had planned on doing and had practiced. And so you get down to this point, and the hard part is over. It's just execution.
And anytime you have a 3-0, you don't want to have to worry about complacency. Is there still things that Boise State can learn from? Because so far in NACE, it's been a lot of 3-0s, and sometimes for teams, that can be even harder than a 3-1 or a 3-2 because you kind of just get into cruise mode. So how are you controlling making sure Boise State is getting better and better every single match?
Honestly, I think the illusion is that it's somehow easy. The hard work is taking place in practice as we really hone some of these strategies and engagements and fights to get out of it what we want. Then when we're successful, which we're not always successful, but when we're successful, it's just evidence that we got the things done that we needed to.
And the other question, and kind of a hint of what's coming ahead, is there's a lot more Overwatch tournaments coming up for this team. How are you going to manage just the fatigue of one tournament into the next? How do you handle that as a coach of, I think, 4 tournaments for this team coming up here in short order that are all going to start or are already in progress?
Well, we've got a good group and a deep group. And part of the way we manage fatigue is honestly getting other folks in other rules. We may see a chosen main tank if the opponent is right. Honestly, we'll just mix it up.
And then the final question, just tell us what are we looking for Boise State? What's coming up for them? I mentioned the tournaments. What matches do we have coming up, and what can we expect from this Bronco team the rest of this week? Because it's only Monday, and I see there's a lot more to come this week.
There's some great teams in NACE West. But we're really looking for this ABC tournament to start up on Friday. We're excited to see what the national scene looks like. And honestly, we've got Harrisburg, we've got Northwood circled.
Big names in that tournament. A big win for Boise State over San Diego State. Always feels nice to beat that conference opponent, even if it is outside of the Mountain West. But a huge congratulations to Boise State. I'm sure Doc is happy, but as he said, the grind begins again tomorrow in practice. That is going to do it here for Boise State. Ton of great things still to come here, so you never want to miss a single thing. If you want to throw out a sub or a follow in the chat, make sure you're always here when Boise State goes live. But for now, it's a big congratulations to Boise State. The Overwatch team remains undefeated, and until next time, have a good evening.